Bree from Rhythm Snowboard Shop, and today we're going to talk about how to set up your snowboard stance, specifically going over the width that you want your bindings at and also the angles. When you're thinking about the width of your bindings, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. One of them is that you want to make sure as you bend your knees are tracking over your toes, that they're not naturally knocking in or pushing too far apart on either side. If you find that your knees are feeling a bit tweaky or you're getting a little bit of pressure on the outside of your foot, you're going to want to think about either making your stance more wide or more narrow. The wider your stance is, the more range of motion you're going to have, the more easier you're going to find it is to get into a deeper squat and bend your knees. You'll also have a lower center of gravity, so you'll find that you'll be a little bit more balanced on your board. The alternative to that is having a little bit more of a narrow stance. Having a narrow stance means you're naturally standing up a little bit taller, and you'll find that it's easier to tilt and lean over your toes and your heel edge. If your stance is too wide, you might find that you lose some of that tilt, and if your stance is too narrow, you might find that you'll lose some of that range of motion. So again, it's about finding what fits for your body and finding what fits for your style of riding. Now that we've talked about snowboard width, we're going to get into snowboard angles. We've set up a few boards here to demonstrate what I mean. So I've set up the wired drift in a duck or symmetrical stance. So that means that the front foot is angled towards the nose at a positive stance, and the rear foot is angled towards the tail at a negative stance. Usually true duck is talking about positive 15 and negative 15, and this is generally a stance that we would set up for beginners, but it's also really popular for freestyle riders and all mountain riders as well. One of the benefits about having your front and rear foot symmetrical is that it promotes a more square body position, and it would encourage you to use more lower body steering, not so much using your upper body, but your knees, your ankles, and your hips to move the snowboard around. This can be really helpful for beginners to help you develop good turning habits, but also helpful for freestyle riders because you'll be able to be more stacked over your snowboard, so riding switch and normal will come more naturally. Our next setup is a pair of step-ons on the Hell Yes, which is a directional twin shape. A directional stance usually means that your front foot is angled a little bit more towards the nose than your rear foot is angled towards the tail. So that might be a combination of positive 15 and negative 12, or even positive 18, negative 9 if you're taking a little bit to the extreme. One of the benefits to this stance is that it helps you turn your front hip out towards the direction of your travel. So it can put you in a little bit more of a forward position, and you might find as well that naturally you'll be putting a little bit more weight on your back foot if you need to have upper body steering or a little bit of back foot initiated turning. You might find this useful if you're riding some more narrow steeps, or even if you wanted to get into some more aggressive carving so you can really drive your back knee towards the toe side of your snowboard. Another benefit of this stance is that you can have that playfulness of being a little bit more open while not having it be too awkward to ride switch if you do that for fun or you find that you need to get out of a bit of a sticky situation while riding across the mountain. The final stance that we're demonstrating today is called a free ride or an Alpine stance. That means is the front foot is really drastically turned out towards the nose of the snowboard, while the back foot is either fully at 0 degrees, or some people might even turn it into a positive angle, matching or moving towards the direction of the front foot. One of the benefits of this stance is that you're really going to feel how it naturally puts you into rear foot position. This is helpful for landing in deep powder, or again, trying to do really whippy back foot initiated turns. Another fun benefit of this stance is that you can drive your rear knee right towards your toe side and get into some of those fun Euro carves that you might have been seeing and that are really sweet to try out on the piste. Again, what is most important is that you're staying healthy and you're having fun. That you find a stance that fits your physiology, and that however you set up your snowboard, it enables you to have the best time possible.